Later, I'd worked for the UWF. I did the Universal Wrestling under Herb Abrams. Did play-by-play on that with Bruno Sammartino, who I knew from the WWF, and most of the people that were in there I knew, and that was cool too.
A little bit of Captain Lou, right? I think Captain Lou was
Captain
over there.
Lou, I did not get to know at WWF. Somehow we missed each other, but I got to know him very well at the UWF, and what a guy he was. Yeah.
Man, these guys, like, when you think about what legends, like, in the business you're rubbing elbows with, Andre and Bruno, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all these, just crazy when you look back, right?
It's the timing of it, right? I happened to get there when wrestling was going like this.
When you look at Herb Abrams, I know you said you saw the Jake the Snake doc. Did you end up seeing, I think it was last year or the year before, there was a Herb Abrams documentary.
I
Did you
missed
happen?
it. I'm dying to see it.
I think it
Very
might be on YouTube, but yeah,
eccentric man.
yeah, his story is nuts. Like, is he really that nuts? Or I mean, did they
Yes.
play it
No,
accurately?
he was crazy. He was really nuts. He was crazy. I remember, like, he couldn't touch the door handle. He'd have to clean the door handle of a car. No perfume. You could not wear perfume. If a woman wore perfume, they could not wear perfume around him. But he was a likable guy too. He was very nice to me. Although he didn't pay me for my last show. Can I get that somehow,
Oh,
John? You got any connections?
I hope so. I'll try. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would go in there in the UWF and do the show in New York, and it was at the Penta Hotel, and then we did a pay-per-view, which no one probably thought, called the Beach Brawl.
Yeah.
Down in Florida somewhere. I think we were in Bradenton. It was actually a pretty good show, but I don't think anybody watched it, unfortunately.
I got a couple of those VHS tapes. We had
them.
The
worst part for me was when the Boogie Woogie Man kissed me on the lips. Oh! First of all,
why the hell did he do that?
Who knows? He came over, he's doing something. He said hello, and he was about 150 pounds, tattooed. He was kind of like, not that it would have made that much of a difference, but when you're sitting there and the guy kisses you, it wasn't a romantic. It was he's just being a wild knucklehead.
Yeah.
Yep. It wasn't anything like that, but it was. You think of bad memories. That's probably one of them.
Yeah. That'll do it for you. How the heck did Herb have money though? Because he brought in Andre the Giant, he brought in Bruno. Where did everybody get money from?
I don't know. I think he had a successful. Was he a jeweler?
Something like
garment business?
Maybe yes. Yes, I think it was Coach and Garment.
New York. So he was basically a fan that became a promoter. Tremendous. And he was able to hook up and convince the people at Sports Channel to put it on so it was national. So I think it was on Sports Channel America back in the day, which was later the NHL Network. So it aired everywhere. And I guess they brought in some, they had big names. Cactus Jack was there.
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful. I mean, they had just about everybody who was on the back end of the WWF, to come over. And Bruno was the color man with me and Lou Albano. And, it was crank the George. I love the way Lou Albano was crank the George.
Did you like UWF as much as you like WWF?
It was fun because actually I got into the role of play-by-play there, which is all I did. And while I said at WWF, I really wasn't because I only did a couple here and there. I never really got in a groove.
Right.
But I felt like I got better at it doing it at the UWF because that's all I did. I would go in and do the whole show. And I was working with Bruno, who I knew, and I knew all the wrestlers, and I was a little more accustomed to the sport as well. I remember one time, though, they had the ring collapsed, like the middle of the ring just caved in like that, dipped. And they were trying to work around it, still doing, falls. And,
oh, my God.
It was not big time, even though it was on big time television. But it was a professional production. They had cameras and good lighting and all that. But it wasn't a WWF.
It's amazing to me that everybody remembers you. Like you said, it was only 2 years in WWF and some time in the UWF. It's crazy. Everybody remembers you. There'll be guys on TV nowadays for like 10 years, and you don't even remember who they are or what they did or can't remember their names. Why do you think that is? Is that just that was the best period in wrestling, and then everybody remembers it so fondly?